If you recall, Part 3 ended with, why didn't William Antrim sell his property when he moved away? According to history.net, in August 1872, Catherine sold her Wichita holdings and made ready to move to Denver, though members of Antrim's family had recently relocated to Wichita. Which members? Upon searching, appears to be William's younger brother, James Antrim, who is 22 years old. It is likely that his brother helped William build their cabin. James not only visited Wichita, but also purchased a 160-acre section for himself and his wife Margaret, adjacent to his own plot. These are the formative years of young Billy McCarty, who would later become known as the infamous Billy the Kid. Welcome to Part 4, the early years. The 1860 census clearly indicates that their father, Levi, was a farmer. While the specifics of the agreement between William and James are unclear, it is likely that James managed William's section. Research in the Wichita Eagle reveals that James Antrim was officially appointed as a policeman on May 3, 1872. This aligns with the timeline. Before this period, he assisted in building a cabin for his brother, saw his brother and family off, and possibly hired laborers for his farm. According to history.net, author Melody Groves writes that summer Catherine and sons, likely with help from Bill, cultivated 7 acres and set out 57 fruit trees. Fencing off one section with split rails, they put in long rows of Osage orange trees. In late summer, Billy and Josie picked sand plums along the creek and riverbanks, while Catherine and Bill enjoyed the pleasure of elderberry wine. Life was certainly sweet for the blended family. Despite the name Osage orange, it is not related to the orange. It is a member of the mulberry family. Due to its latex secretions and woody pulp, the fruit is not eaten by humans. Osage orange's trees start to bear fruit after 10 years. This clearly indicates that Antrim had no intention of leaving. Planting 57 Osage orange trees, which are neither edible nor marketable, and take a decade to mature, suggests a long-term commitment. The sudden decline in Catherine's health must have occurred within this year. It could have sounded like this.
Hi, Antrim. I went to visit Dr. Owen again this morning.
And what did the good doctor say this time, and how much did that cost?
He suggested my only relief from my consumption is a drier climate.
Are you suggesting we move, after I just built this cabin and planted the 57 Osage trees?
I'm going to Denver with my boys. You can come or stay. I'm sorry, Antrim. I've made up my mind and will be leaving next week to Denver.
While searching through Wichita's newspapers, I discovered that the Wichita Weekly Beacon published Catherine's obituary 3 weeks after her death. How did they know? William Antrim must have telegraphed the news to his brother James.
Catherine, not going to let you go alone. I'm coming with you. My brother will watch the farm.
Is it possible Catherine traveled by train? The first passenger train arrived in Wichita, Kansas on May 16, 1872. However, Catherine had already left 6 months prior. January 6, 1872 issue of a New York daily newspaper. Catherine McCarty at Nevadaville, Colorado Territory, is anxious to hear of her sister, Margaret McCarty, who, when last heard from, was in Amboy, New Jersey, and her 2 brothers, Matthew and Barnard. If this is indeed our Catherine, she had already left Wichita before the train depot arrived. To reach Denver, they would travel about 500 miles at roughly 20 miles a day. Their journey would take them to Fort Zara, following the Santa Fe Trail to Bent's Fort before heading north to Denver. I can imagine the kids singing songs or playing a harmonica. I can almost hear them now.
Silver threads among the gold shine upon my brow today. Life is fading fast away, but my darling, you will be always young and fair to me. Yes, my darling, you will be always young and fair to me.
Nevadaville, also known as Nevada City, was a thriving gold mining town in Gilpin County, Colorado in 1871. It was located about 1 mile southwest of Central City, up Nevada Gulch. The population in 1870 was 973 people. Nevadaville was one of the most important mining settlements in the area at this time. it had a greater concentration of paying gold mines than nearby towns like Central City and Black Hawk. From Ancestry.com, a story passed to me by my grandmother, Adeline Angwin, Marianne's daughter, was they were traveling to Nevadaville and were chased by Indians. They put the faces of the children to the window to make it look like lots of people in the coach. They were unharmed. Shame on them. Today, Nevadaville is primarily a ghost town, with access limited due to the presence of private property and potential hazards from unstable mine shafts. Visitors are advised to view the town from the road and avoid wandering into the area due to risks of sinkholes and other dangers associated with abandoned mines. Catherine McCarty was indeed in Nevadaville, Colorado territory in early 1872, as evidenced by a personal ad she placed seeking information about her sister Margaret. Given that Catherine was already suffering from tuberculosis, which would claim her life 2 years later, it is possible that she was anticipating her own demise and reaching out for her sister to ensure her children would be placed with a reliable family.
Look what the cat dragged home.
I'm sorry, Catherine. I didn't mean to be gone for 3 days. After we all get paid Friday, my boss asked me if I could oblige him, and if so, he would put in a good word for me with his boss. I'm doing this for us, Kathy.
Go chop some wood, Antrim. I'll heat you up some bathwater and some food. Please say you have the rent money.
I lost it. You're not going to believe this, but I had the money yesterday. My boss talked me into a Monte card game, and I was up $10.
If you found this information helpful and want to explore more about Billy the Kid, I invite you to subscribe to the series. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Billy the Kid. If you ever wanted to know about the history of White Oaks, New Mexico, I've got you covered. The site is whiteoaksnewmexicogoldrush.com.